going to happen tomorrow. Our department has organized that. So please all of you join, okay? Join the webinar.
Okay, ma'am.
You will get e-certificates for that. So please join the webinar and enjoy. He's from a practical world, very young and enthusiastic entrepreneur. So the speaker will speaks also very good. Speaks also very good. So please attend the webinar and grab some knowledge about the practical world. Okay. All right. So let us start this small sample t-test. Small sample t-test. Okay. So we have covered up our large sample Z test, which included 4 types of problems. And as I told you that similar to the Z test, there will be set of T test also. The only difference will be there in the formula. Then the criteria checking will be different. Like in Z test, you had only 2 or 3 data numbers, and you had to decide based on those numbers, but here it will be a little bit different. And the main difference is t-test is done for small samples like less than 30, and z-test will be conducted for large sample 30 or more than 30. Okay, so let us start doing the problems. I hope you have written the formula that we discussed in the last class. So we will cover first to example 14.40. No need to write the question. You can write the question later on, but do the solution in your copy right now. So it says that a random sample of size 20 from a normal population gives a sample mean of 42 and sample standard deviation of 6. Test the hypothesis that the population mean is 44. State clearly the alternative hypothesis you allow for and the level of significance adopted. So, here we have to choose the level of significance, and obviously we have to state the null and the alternative hypothesis, and we have to check. So from the sample size given in the problem, it shows that you have to do t-test. Okay, and data related to sample mean and sample standard deviation is given. So you will use this data and use a formula for testing of means for a specified mean. Test t-test for a specified mean. That formula we will have to use. So you write down the null hypothesis. It says that the hypothesis that the population mean is 44. So directly our hypothesis is given in the problem. We have to test whether our sample represents a population whose mean is 44. So what will you write? You will write null hypothesis is that, write in the solution part, null hypothesis is that the population mean is 44. Null hypothesis is that the population mean is 44. That is H naught mu equals to 44. That is H naught mu equals to 44. Okay. So since there is no information regarding one tail case that is greater than or less than, so what we will do is we will simply write the alternative hypothesis as not equals to. So write down alternative hypothesis is that the population mean is different from 44. Population mean is different from 44. That is H1 or HA you can write, or H2 also you can write, mu not equals to 44. Mu not equals to 44. That is both sided alternatives. That is both sided alternatives. Okay. So then you write the information that is there in the problem. Write down n, small n equals to 20, x bar equals to 42, x bar equals to 42, and S, capital S. This is the sample standard deviation. S equals to, write down 6. Then you write down this formula. This formula. Test for a specified mean formula when SD is unknown. That is, population SD is unknown. Okay. Write down small t equals to x bar minus mu, x bar minus mu divided by capital S divided by root over n minus 1. This formula number 14.8.6, which you can see right now in your screen, write that formula. T equals to x bar minus mu divided by capital S by root over n minus 1. I hope you all are writing. That's why I'm going slow and explaining everything. Okay. So now, if you have written this formula, then substitute the values given in the problem. That is x bar, which is 42. Write down 42 minus mu naught. Mu, that is 44. This is the population mean which we are expecting, which we are saying that the sample represents the population, so the sample should also be somewhere equals to 44. So we write x bar minus mu naught 42 minus 44 divided by capital S, that is 6, again divided by root over n minus 1. So n is 20, n minus 1 will be 19. Root over will be 19. So how you solve this kind of calculation? You will first do the numerator, which will be minus 2. Then in the denominator you will calculate first the using a smartphone you will calculate root over of 19. Okay, you will get some value, round it off to 2 or 3 digit maximum. Then do 6 by root over 19. That is, first you will do the root over, or check whether your smartphone gives result directly. 6 divided by root over 19. If it gives the result, sometimes it provides wrong answer. So better is first you calculate the root over of 19, then write somewhere. Okay, write somewhere for remembering up to 2 digit after decimal or 3 digit. Then you divide 6 by that number. You divide 6 by that number. You will get one number. And in the numerator, you will be having minus 2. So minus 2 divided by the number which you will get using the smartphone. Then you will check whether you are getting minus 1.45 or not. This has been rounded off to 2 digits. So please see and tell me whether you are getting minus 1.45 or not. Yes. Are you getting minus 1.45? Yes, anyone? What is the answer? Ankita, what is the answer? What is the answer? Please tell me. Any problem in calculation? Then also tell me.
Ma'am, it's correct.
Okay.
1.46.
Okay, thank you. So 1.46 or 45, it doesn't matter. So you are getting minus 1.45 or 46. Now we know that the degrees of freedom is 19 because I told you that they know that n minus 1 is the degrees of freedom, and it is 19 in this case because your uh, n size is, that is sample size is 20, and your n minus 1 is 19, right? Now, okay, now I'll show you one table. This table would have been provided to you had you have to write examination in offline mode, but since you are going to write the examination in assignment mode, so you can access the table online. When you will do these problems in your examination, you can access the tables online. So I'm showing you one table. Wait. Yes, can you see one table? P table. It is written P table. Please tell me, can you see this? Can you see one table? Please tell me. Unmute
Yes,
and tell.
ma'am.
Yes. This is the T table, okay? These tables will be provided to you had you been writing offline mode. But since you're writing online mode, so you have to keep this table ready with you. Right, I'll share this table in Moodle as well as in WhatsApp group so that you can access these tables. Okay. So what you have to see is at the top, it will be written. Okay. One tail or two tail, it will be written. One tail means greater than or less than in alternative hypothesis, and two tails means not equals to and not equals to. Okay. So this problem is a not equals to problem. So it is a two-tailed problem, right? So what you have to do is you have to go till degrees of freedom 19. In our question, in our problem, the degrees of freedom is 19. So go to 19 in degrees of freedom. I think you can see my arrow on the screen also. So go till 19. Okay. And where we will check? We will check at 2 tail 0.05. 2 tail 0.05. 2 tail means it will be 0.025, which is a mistake actually. Now 2 tail should be 0.025 and 1 tail should be 0.05. Okay, anyways, values will be same only. Alright, so at yeah. So see, corresponding to this 19 and this at the top 0.025 and 0.05. This is 5% level of significance. Okay, this is 5% level of significance and 0.005 or 0.01. That is third one from the last. That is level of significance is 1%. The fifth one from the last is the 5% level of significance, that is 95% confidence limit, and the third one from the last is 99% confidence limits or 1% level of significance. So suppose we want to check at 5%, what will be the value? Follow the arrow on the screen. From here, that is 0.025 or 0.05, we will go till the 19th degree of freedom. It is 2.093. You can take 2 digits after decimal, so you will take 2.09. And at 1% level of significance, corresponding to 19 degrees of freedom, it is 2.861. Right? Do you understand? Are you understanding? Tell me. How to see the table? Simply you will have to check 0.05. Do not make mistake in seeing this, okay? At 5% level of significance means 0.05, one tail, and two tail is 0.025. It doesn't matter because the value will be same. So
Ma'am, your arrow is not visible.
my arrow is not visible. Okay, then listen to me. Okay, listen to me. In the column portion, that is in the first column, you can see degrees of freedom, right? DF, degrees of freedom, you can see. So in degrees of freedom, you will have to go till 19 because in our problem, the degrees of freedom is 19, right? So you will go till 19 and see at the top, some t values are written, no? 0.50, 0.25, 0.20 for one tail. From in there, you check the one which is at the fifth position from the right hand side. Fifth one from the right hand side. Column number fifth one from the right hand side. It is 0.025 and 0.05. Can you see, Sheetal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you will go till the 19 degrees of freedom and see what is the value here in 0.05, because suppose we are seeing at 5% level of significance, so we will have to check this column. We will go to this column till 19 degrees of freedom. The value is how much, Shital?
Ma'am, it's 2.093.
Yes, exactly, 2.093. And suppose you want to check at 1% level of significance, then you will have to see the third column from the right hand side. Third column from the right hand side, and you will follow this column till the 19 degrees of freedom. Here, what is the value, Shital?
Ma'am, it's 2.861.
Yes, very good. So this is how you need to check. I hope all of you have understood. If not, please unmute and ask. In this table, you have to check which one is 5% and which one is 1%. Checking of this is the most important. You may take 0.50 by mistake. You may take 0.10 by mistake. Those will be mistake, okay? You will have to check either 0.05 or 0.01, okay? And you have to follow the degrees of freedom given in the question and go till the degrees of freedom corresponding to 0.05. You will see the value. Simple. I'll share this table in your WhatsApp group. Okay, this table is a mistake. I'll share the different table, same pattern but different table I'll share. Okay, so now see, now let us move on to our problem. It says, from the tables of key distribution, after writing degrees of freedom, you have to write this line. Okay. From the tables of T distribution, we find that for 19 degrees of freedom, the percentage points of T are respectively. Then write this line. Okay. Write this line. Write this line. From the tables of T distribution, we find for 19 degrees of freedom, the percentage points of T are respectively T 0.025 is 2.09 and T 0.005 is 2.86. Write this line, okay? Okay, I hope you have written the first line. Then you will write, we have to use a two-tailed test because the alternatives are both sided. Right, we have to use a two-tailed test because the alternatives are both sided. That is not equals to sign, no? So we have to write this line. We have to use a two-tailed test because the alternatives are both sided. Write this line. We have to use a two-tailed test because the alternatives are both sided. Okay. So two-tailed test means you have to use mod value. You remember in z-test also we did this. So when case of two-tailed test that is not equals to symbol, we have to take mod value of t also. We will take mod value and we will ignore the minus sign that we have got in t statistic calculation. So since mod t is 1.45, you will write, since mod t is equals to 1.45 is less than the 5% tabulated value, is less than the 5% tabulated value corresponding to the two tails, there is no reason to reject the null hypothesis at 5% level of significance. And we may conclude that the population mean is 44. Write this line, okay? Write this paragraph. Write the last paragraph. Okay, finish this paragraph. Okay, since t mod t equals to 1.45 is less than the 5% tabulated value corresponding to the two tails, that is 2.09, there is no reason to reject the null hypothesis at 5% level of significance, and we conclude that the population mean may be 44. So we are testing, okay, we are testing whether the information given about the population is correct or not, and we are doing it with the help of a selection of a sample. Yesterday we were discussing, no, that how to frame the hypothesis and do it for our original research. So this way you can do, you can first have an information about the population, and you can test the information by selecting a particular sample and calculating data about that sample. This way you can do it. Okay, so all right students, I have shared the statistical table. Okay, this is another file, so I want to show you this file now also. This format looks a bit different, but it's a very good file because all the tabulated values are given. We may require it for our upcoming tests like ANOVA and chi-square also. So this we will refer to. This is a good PDF. So you see, you can see the table A.2 in your screen now. Here directly percentage of the significance level is mentioned. It is not mentioned like 0.05 or 0.01. Simply it is mentioned 10%, 5%, 2%, 1%. Our concern will be 5% and 1%. Okay. So in the left hand side you can see degrees of freedom are mentioned. So corresponding to the degrees of freedom, you will just check. For two tail it will be 5%. For one tail it will be 2.5%. Like that you will check and see the value which is corresponding to the degrees of freedom of 19. See, in the second one 5%, second one from the left 5% or 2.5% for one tail, it is how much? At 19, 2.093, same value that we used. Okay, so this file I have shared in your group, so you can keep it, save it for your future reference, because you will be requiring it during the examination time. Okay. Okay, so this problem is over. Any doubt you can ask. If you have any doubt, you can ask, please. If you have any doubt, you can ask. No doubt, right? Tital, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So keep this table for future reference, alright? Okay, another problem let us solve now. This one we will discuss in the class, and after the class you will finish it in your copy. Okay. Now you may not solve now because not much time is left. So we will discuss this problem right now, and after the class you can do it in your copy. It says that I'm talking about example 14.41. It says a fertilizer mixing machine is said to give 12 kg of nitrate for every quintal bag of fertilizer. 10 100 kg bags are examined. So sample size is 10. Okay, sample size is 10. The percentages of nitrate are 11, 14, 11, 14, 13, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 11, 12. So these are the percentages. Okay, now here the directly mean is not given to you, standard deviation is not given to you. You have to calculate first and then move ahead. Okay. Is there reason to believe that the machine is defective? Value for T for 9 degrees of freedom is 2.262. Here the tabulated value for the t-test is given to you. Okay, you don't have to check the table. In some problem you will see that the value will be directly given to you. Okay, now the question is, it says that is fertilizer mixing machine is said to give 12 kg of nitrate for every quintal bag of fertilizer. So our target is that the fertilizer machine should provide 12 kg of nitrate. Now 100 kg bags have been examined. So our sample size is 10. We have taken 100 kg bags. And the percentages of nitrate has been found as 11, 14, 13. These are the 10 bags, kgs of nitrate which you can see. 11, 14, 13, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 11, 12. These are the percentage of nitrates in the 10 bags. Okay. And our target is that the percentage of nitrate should be 12 kg. Should be 12 kg. Okay. So, does this data give us any reason to believe that the machine is defective? So, let us test. Okay. So, since our target is 12 kg, so the null hypothesis will be 12, mu equals to 12. Okay, that's what you will write. The weight in kg of nitrate in one bag of the fertilizer follows normal distribution with mean mu and standard deviation sigma. You may not write. You may not write this line. Still, you will get marks. Okay, at your level, no need to write all so much of assumption. This may be required in master's degree. So you may avoid writing this line. You will still get full marks. But you mention null and alternative. That is very important. Okay. So what you will write? Null hypothesis H naught mu equals to 12. Since our target is 12, so we will simply write null hypothesis H naught mu equals to 12. And alternative hypothesis will be H1 mu not equals to 12. Let us go with both tail test. Since sigma is not known, thus the appropriate test statistic is student's T. Just like the previous problem, same formula we will use. When H naught is true, this distribution, this follows the T distribution with n minus 1 degrees of freedom. What will be the degrees of freedom? N minus 1, that is 10 minus 1. This will be 9. Now, here directly the sample mean and sample standard deviations are not given to you. You will have to calculate from the data given. For this reason, I asked you to also go through the previous semester's statistics paper. In there, it was taught to you how to calculate the mean and how to calculate the standard deviation. So let us see. The mean will be simply x bar, where you will add all these values, that is 11, 14, 13, 12, like that till 12 you will add and divide it by 10. How will you write? You will write summation x by n. Summation you will be the total of these values, which will be 125, and you will divide it by 10. So you will get 12.5. So our x bar is 12.5. Now we need to calculate the standard deviation. How to calculate standard deviation? You need to have, for the SD, take deviations from 12. First you need to have the deviations from 12. That is 12 is the mean, no? Our exact mean. And you will have to write the deviations from 12. Yes, from 12. So how will you write? D equals to x minus 12. X means these values, 11, 14, 13, these values. And minus 12. You will have to go on writing the D values by deducting 12, which is our expectation, from the X values. So what will it be? First one will be 11 minus 12. So minus 1. Next one will be 14 minus 12. So 2. Next will be 13 minus 12. So 1. Next 12 minus 12. So 0. Next 13 minus 12. So 1. 12 minus 12. So 0. Then 13 minus 12. So 1. Then 14 minus 12. So 2. 11 minus 12. So minus 1. And 12 minus 12 will be 0. So this minus 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, minus 1 and 0 is coming by deducting this by deducting this expectation of mean, that is 12, from the original set of values. Right. Now next is you have to calculate the summation of D. It will be minus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 minus 1 plus 0. Like that you will calculate the summation of D. You will get 5. Then also you have to calculate summation of D square. You have to do a little bit of rough work here. Okay, do a little bit of rough work and then you solve this. Okay, no need to do it now, you can do it after class. And the formula for calculating S square is summation D square by N. It will be minus. Okay, see the screen, it is written, no, therefore S square equals to, like that something is written. So in between summation D square by N and summation D by N whole square, there is an equals to sign, but it will be minus sign. It is a mistake. So once you calculate, will you be able to calculate summation D square? D square means you will have to take minus 1 whole square, 2 square, 1 square, 0 square, like that till 0 square you will take, and then you will add those values. That way you will get summation of D square. Do you understand? Okay, no problem. Let us do this problem tomorrow. Yes, anyone? Sheetal, you are saying something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a little bit of critical thing. Because I know you will not remember your previous semester's uh, knowledge. So we will do it tomorrow. Okay, in the class, step by step, I will discuss again, and you will do it. Okay. Don't worry, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Attendance I have given, you may leave the class now and please join the webinar tomorrow. Okay, it is a very interesting webinar and all will get e-certificates, right? Please join tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.